my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You like my oxygen, make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up, break you in and break you out. In the end, we're gonna make it.
Welcome back to another edition of All Time High. Dionna, it says we're live. We're not live. I mean, maybe we should go live, but in order to go live, we need more followers, more fans. What should people do at this moment in time?
You should definitely hit that little like and subscribe button so that we can go live. That would be fun.
That would be fun. We've done it once before.
Yeah.
But we'll find an event and there'll be a time, there'll be a place. We'll be there. Now, speaking of times and places, you are coming back from Vegas, went to a big time conference. Yes? No?
Oh, yeah. It was Bitcoin 2025. And
I thought you'd gone to the XRP conference. It was also in Vegas. Did you go to both?
No. I don't even know what the XRP, I didn't even know about it. So I probably should have been.
A lot of big time people went to both conferences, but who am I to say? I went to neither. So I'm neither BTC or XRP. I'm both, Dionna.
I know you're both. I know we have this conversation all the time. That you would have gone to both.
I would have.
I did not. No.
You were strictly OG BTC. How was said conference?
It was huge. It was so big. So it's a little bit of mixed stuff, right? In one sense, it was really fun sitting with people who were there from the beginning. And there was a couple times when my friends just sat back and were like, look at this, like, look at what we did. Look at what we've accomplished because they all worked so hard to bring this to market and to get it adopted. So in one sense, there was this euphoria of, okay, we've made it. And then in another sense, there was this, we never wanted government involved. So that kind of the opposite of crypto is government. And, it was a lot of government.
Here we sit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Well, let me ask you a question that everybody's wanting to ask. Was there anything with the sphere where Bitcoin was on top of the sphere? Do you have any pictures that you can share with us?
I don't.
Did it happen? Like, was there some cool, because that is one of the most compelling things about recent Vegas, you know what I mean? Is they do some wonderful concerts, wonderful artistry.
Oh yeah. They had like a beach ball. They had some really cool stuff on the sphere. I don't remember seeing anything Bitcoin. But I can go through and hit up some people and see if anybody happens to see, or we'd probably find a picture somewhere. I will tell you my favorite part. Aside, I'm ex-government, so I'm not necessarily
CIA.
No.
People want to know.
We don't talk about it.
Are you working for Palantir? Yeah, probably just got this episode canceled, by the way. We don't care about that.
So we didn't say any of the bad words yet.
We said a C word though. We said CIA. That'll do it.
You said you.
Okay, it's my bad. I don't even care anymore. We used to worry about that stuff. But.
So okay. Being ex-government, I'm kind of mixed bag about government a little bit, right? But we got to see Vivek Ramaswamy and Mayor Eric Adams, who I have a mixed bag about him. And then the vice president, so JD Vance was there and he gave a speech. So in one sense, it's first off, Vivek Ramaswamy is such an intelligent guy. I really
he speaks incredibly well. Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. He came up, we had a whole private room of, at the DNA house, which is like a big venture capital for crypto. They hosted these events. They had Vivek Ramaswamy there. We were all there. It was like a little private lunch and he delivered the most amazing speech. And it was so elegant. It was poised. It was consistent. It was,
he's our guy. He's the one that's going to make the space more attractive to everyone. Seriously.
He is.
Because he was so incredibly smart by not participating in Doge. Like, do you realize, we've all forgotten, but he was part of the original cast for that. And he went, I don't know how this thing's going to end. And we last week got to see how this thing came to an end. And Vivek, however you say his name, is not a part of that. And he's now running for office in Ohio, maybe governor, senator, which one?
Governor of Ohio. Well, so you think about it as strategic, right? So he's probably looking at maybe not a 2028, maybe like a 2032 run, maybe 2028, who knows?
Okay.
But, they, I feel like the party is pushing Vance to the next. And then if for some reason Vance doesn't go through, Vivek is like a backup one as far as the Republican Party is concerned. So that feels like the way they're moving it. But Vivek he just had such common sense about the things that he was saying, about the way that we, like, instead of making people reliant on government, so this was interesting, and I've heard mixed bags about it. What if every child in the US got $10,000 when they were born, and it got put into an account? It could be. I mean, it could be Bitcoin. That'd be fantastic if it was.
Okay.
I don't know if we'd have enough to do that. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we have a population problem, from my understanding. So maybe there'd be an incentive then to have more children. Possibly, I don't know. Who's to say?
Maybe. But you put 10,000 in an account for a kid. You let it accumulate 15% compounded interest over time, and then as they become older adults, that money is there for them to have to pay for Medicare, Medicaid, medical stuff, their well-being, right? Because right now, between Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, we're spending $3 trillion a year. $3 trillion. And if we did the reverse of giving everybody $10,000, it's $32 billion. So, it's an interesting, maybe Ohio is going to be the ones to test this stuff out. We'll see how it works out there. I just like the idea that we're coming up with new concepts to get off of this old way of doing things, because it's obviously not working for us anymore. And crypto could be the solution to that. It might not be, but I loved hearing what he had to say about it. Yeah,
no, he has to be one of the best speakers in general. And if you look, I think over time, the people that get elected are great communicators. Yeah. And I think he definitely fits into that category. I also have been impressed with him over time. Who knew that was what we were going to talk about today? He goes out and does grassroots conversations where he actually gets feedback. He hears what people say. Like, he's going to listen to you. Yeah. And that's different, because a lot of either side of the aisle, a lot of people can these days come across as tone deaf. I don't think he has that problem.
No, he definitely doesn't have that problem. It definitely is a problem. It's not his problem.
No.
You know who I was only okay with there?
Oh, wait, can I guess? Does it rhyme with hummus? I'm only okay with her. Did you see what came out about her speaking of the XRP conference? She totally stiff-armed Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, would not take a meeting with him and canceled it, wouldn't reschedule it. And it turns out, and because you've been to the Texas Blockchain Summit, her son-in-law is a muckety muck. I mean, go ahead. Do you know the relationship there? You may know him.
No. Tell me.
He's in a company that he created that is a Bitcoin maxi company, which I am in this thing for Bitcoin and all the others, all the altcoins too. But she has more recently taken a position of, I won't say maximalism, but she's close. She's very, very close. Who did you not like to hear from?
Okay, so I was we'll say less impressed was actually JD Vance.
Whoa.
I felt his speech was very, it was okay, but
was it boilerplate or patronizing? Where did we lean with JD?
It was boilerplate. Okay. Like he kept tripping on his words. It just wasn't, it didn't feel as authentic as Vivek did. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. Yeah.
It felt like he was just there kind of checking the box, and maybe he's into it. Maybe I don't know. But I felt like, we're so passionate about it. You kind of want people who are passionate about it too. You don't want to. Actually, it was the Texas governor one time. Do you remember when she got up on the stage and she goes, "What do we love about Bitcoin? We love this. We love the stability." And we all started laughing, and we're like, "Oh, she don't know Bitcoin."
She ain't been down this street.
Yeah. So it felt like one of those speeches, you know what I mean? Where I know it was written, it was probably on a teleprompter. And I know that's what everybody does. But when you're in front of such passionate people, when you've got such a passionate movement in front of you, we kind of want some of that reciprocated. And I just didn't feel like it was. But it was a great speech, aside from him tripping up on stuff.
Were there any Trump children, any Winklevoss twins, any?
Yeah, I think Trump. I think Eric Trump was there.
Okay.
I think I don't know about. I'm sure the Winklevoss. Everybody was there. Everybody
who was anybody, including Dionna, was
That's
there.
That's right. No. Yeah. I'm the hidden. I don't want to be out there like that. I don't want to be a Winklevoss. I just want to be like low-key rich.
Low-key rich. Speaking of, this is not low-key rich, but Circle. Now, I remember when Coinbase, not investment advice, do your own research, went with their IPO, and it did one of these ups and right back down.
course.
And I mean, up to $400 and back down to like 95 that afternoon. It went to 325, 220. I remember I was there. And then I'm like, nope, I'm not going to make the same mistake twice because Circle's going to issue their IPO. What do I think it's going to do? It's going to go up and then turn back down. You know what it's done? It's kind of gone up, up, up and away. And
it's interesting that Coinbase did that. Well, it was a while ago, right? I was like, because they're backing all the ETFs. So you would think that their stock would continue to go up. And that's probably what Circle's getting in on. There's probably some kind of something that's going to come in the back end and Circle's spearheading that. And that's the time to do the IPO,
I think they nailed the timing of it, because if this legislation passes, and the speculation is that it will, that it's still out there, because, it's been a couple weeks since we've talked about it, and we've moved past, and now they're starting to get to where they're going to get the vote. But there's a lot of stuff on both sides of the aisle that are getting, what they do? They jam it in. And then the last minute, it's like, well, you got your thing, Dionna. If you're good, then just vote for your thing and make sure the whole thing goes through. And if everybody gets their little piece of the puzzle, there might be 50 votes that are solid, 10 votes where they need something, and nobody reads the whole thing at the end. And the 50 that are solid are good. And the 10 that got their thing, they're good. And so now we're at 60 and this thing turns into a law.
Yeah. How crazy the Elon Trump fight, right? Like watching that spin out of control. And I think it's interesting that he's saying that the bill is going to add $5 trillion to the debt, and that pretty much all of the work Doge just did was crazy. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens, in my opinion, as far as if we get the stable dollar passed.
Yeah.
If government operates on a stable dollar, we can audit everything. There is no more of these hidden money trails. There's no more money disappearing. Now, the reverse of that is they can see everything we do too. So I'm hoping we do a government first rollout. Like, let's make them have the transparency.
See, I think this is all theater, all of it.
Oh yeah,
all of it. And so when I thought that, and I think some of it is they test it real time. And so part of Doge, I thought, was blockchain being the answer to the problem, because there was such an indication that there was not transparency, that these NGOs were being established. Nobody knew where the money was going. What solution do you have for that, Dionna? Well, look over here behind door number 3, Monty Hall. We've got blockchain technology, and it can be operationally transparent. It can be authenticated, and it will be forever recorded. But we didn't quite get there.
No.
Where we ended up was in like 2 kids fighting on Twitter and Truth Social, X, if you will, his social media platform, your social media platform. And they started making some very serious allegations, things that we normally can't say on the show. Did you see that?
I did see that. And my without saying it, I'm going to say, if it was true,
that people are going to certain islands out there.
Well, I feel like but I feel like the left would have used it a long time ago.
Agreed.
I feel like if there was any truth to that,
that's why I knew it was theater. That was how I knew at that moment.
How that it was theater?
Yeah, because exactly what you said. I was like, oh no, that's not even if. So let's say it is true, or it's a hell of an allegation. They agreed to have a little fight in the sandbox, and meanwhile, behind the scenes, all this other stuff is going on to distract the masses, because all that anybody knows about, talks about, thinks about, social media is about, is they had this dust up. But other things are happening. Like the debt is a big deal. Like that's a big deal. Financially, I'm too analytically minded sometimes, but it pays the bills.
No, but if we don't fix this problem, we're gonna go insolvent. We will crumble as a nation. And what does that mean? And maybe the truth is, in all of this search for the perfect government to root out greed and control, maybe just because of humans, we'll never get there. Who knows? It's gonna be interesting.
So what's phase 2? Like right now, I'm watching in the automotive industry where they're halting production as the manufacturers are uncertain. So they have 70% less vehicles on ships right now as they did at this time last year. Typically at this time, they're starting to ship to close out the model year end. There's 2 great times of the year to buy a vehicle. One is in August at model year end. And normally they're loading up the dealerships with these products to have great sales in August, except this year they're kind of they're tapping the brakes.
Yep.
They're pulling their foot off the gas.
Yep.
And as people are coasting in to wait to see what happens, all I know is that the tariff stuff keeps getting, not unlike political maneuvers for budgets, it keeps getting kicked. That can keeps getting pushed further down the road.
Yeah. Well, I know we're going to do another episode where we touch on tariffs. I just want to say, hopefully that's good for the U.S. That means we have like our manufacturers locally can produce more cars that we then buy. That, you know what I mean? Like we're relying on ourselves to kind of get through this point. You know, all right, I need to buy a car, so I'm excited about it because I keep hearing how they're dropping prices and getting cheaper, and so you know, yeah.
So let's go back to the conference, back to Vegas. You're there. What was the big, cool new thing that everybody was excited about? Was it what at the conference, outside the conference? What was the vibe? What was the energy?
There was so much. There's just so much, and there's so many different ways that people. Oh, you know who had a booth at the conference?
No,
Peter Schiff.
Oh, did you talk to him? Did you get a picture?
No, I didn't go talk to him. I didn't go walk the trade store, not for long. I just went for a little bit.
I mean, I bet there's a line to talk to him.
Oh, I'm sure there was.
You ready for this? I think he's part of the PSYOP. Go ahead.
Part of the PSYOP?
Oh, yeah. You have to have the other side. You have to have a combatant. You have to have an argument. Even with Elon and Trump, right? There's got to be that friction, apparent, real, imagined, or otherwise. And so Schiff gives Bitcoiners that other side of the coin, literally, where they go, well, this is the guy who's been wrong forever. This is the guy we're proving wrong. I mean, what fun in life as an American is there if you can't win? If you can't go behind your keyboard, not for me, but for thee, and shout out through some cartoon monkey NFT that you have that you've won, that you've won for the moment. It might not be for the long term, but you've got a minute in time where you're like, my coin is the best. My thing is the best. You can't stop me. You can only hope to contain me.
Yeah. No? My very first conference was the Nexus conference in Aspen in September of 2017. And Max Kaiser.
Yes.
Right. And Peter Schiff got in a big argument on stage and Max is like ripping up it was the funniest thing ever. It was so entertaining. And now to see Peter Schiff there kind of peddling his gold, you're like, okay, all right.
Well, gold's had a good run too.
Yeah, but it's, we want.
And by the way, gold. Bitcoin's at 106, 108 right now. I mean,
I know.
Not financial advice. Do your own research, but what? But buy more. Buy more.
We're purely entertainment value, hopefully.
Yes, and I'm gonna close out. Normally we start here, but today, for those people that have made it this far, we're gonna talk about this very quickly. Did you know that the total market cap right now is 3.6 trillion, which is 12% off the all-time high, which is why we're here. Are you ready for what's even crazier?
Do tell.
Get ready. Altcoin season's right after Bitcoin blasts off. The altcoin market cap is at 1.6 trillion, which is off 29% from its all-time high. What do you think about that?
We're getting there. I think it'll be interesting to see what chain the stable dollar is built on.
What chain the stable dollar?
Right? I mean, they got to build it on something, and you want a chain that's like tried and true and tested. And
you want to say it? You can say it if you want to.
I don't know. I don't know if I know. I could do some digging and see if I can't find out.
I've
heard some compelling arguments for Ethereum, but with the gas fees, I don't know how that would work. No. That's
not even going to qualify for the USA free tax thing because they're not from the USA in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
But they are. I don't think that they were considered security. I think that they were a commodity like Bitcoin.
That's fine.
I'll have to go back and look where that ended, but it was a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not where that's happening. See, I'm going to lay something out here real quick that, when you get persecuted by the government, and so I'm going to say there was a current sitting president who had that happen, and I'm going to say there was also this one company in the crypto industry where they were persecuted by the SEC, more so arguably than any other company.
Oh, I already know where you're going with this.
I'm not saying what I'm saying.
You are saying what you're saying.
when I look up and I see them at the table with heads of state, with the people within the banking industry, and I know libertarians hate this, and I know Bitcoin OGs hate this. I'm here for the greater good. Bitcoin can survive with the help of some other ledgers. It can thrive with continued investment from recommendations with major financial institutions. It can go further than we ever thought it could go if the government, ironically, as you noted earlier, holds some of the Bitcoin in reserve, if not even purchases some of it and holds on to it. Like, I think there's a greater good characteristic here. But you tell me what blockchain would fit the bill that I just described.
Well, I knew you were going to say XRP. I already knew. As soon as you said it, I was like, I already know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I did. I can't help myself. But it's the end of another episode, Dionna. So we're just going to have to close it there. Thank you again for another great episode of All Time High.
Bye,
we'll see you next time.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my